You're listening to the Major Pod Network, the only place where your favorite toy store, bar, arcade, and arena are all on the same block. Scratch that major itch.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 31 of MC, True Long Island Story. I'm your host, always ready, the internet champion and the GCW Universal Champion. That's right, the champ is still here, Matt Cardona.
Love it, man. That thing spins great. I'm also here, producer of the show, Smart Mark Sterling Esquire. What's up, dude? I feel like I didn't talk to you all weekend.
You were kind of, you were busy. You were on vacation. I was texting. I was, I guess, technically on vacation, but I was doing a lot of work this week.
On vacation a little bit, but then, then some work.
Yeah.
But,
how was Universal?
Oh, it was awesome. I basically spent the entire day in both Harry Potter lands. That's pretty much all we did. We just looked at every store, rode every ride. It was awesome.
What's your take? This isn't Majorland.
Okay.
What's your take on these Harry Potter lands, Harry Potter worlds compared to Galaxy's Edge?
So the first time that I went to Harry Potter land, I was blown away. I thought it was the greatest thing on planet Earth. The first time I went to Star Wars, I was a little disappointed. I thought Harry Potter land was way better. This year, I went to both again, and it was almost switched. I liked Star Wars Land much more this time. It's more complete. The new ride was there. The first time I went, the new ride wasn't there. So there's that. And then Harry Potter Land was I don't know. It was just as good as it was before, but they were adding more stuff to Star Wars that is making it able to compete, if that makes any sense.
Now, but I've done both enough times, I think.
Yep.
On both coasts, where I am going to say, I believe there is no better theming, immersion, if that's the right term, than Diagon Alley.
Oh, my God. Yes, I 1,000% agree.
Now, like, Hogsmeade is cute. I like it. It's cool.
Yep.
But, man, Diagon Alley is incredible. And
you walk in there, and you can't see anything else.
You can't see anything.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like I get what they're doing with Galaxy's Edge. I appreciate that they don't want it to be Tatooine or Endor or Hoth. They want it to be Batuu. They want it to, but I think they should have made it something, because you recognize the Millennium Falcon, but that's like it.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
Now, if they had all these like droids and alien characters walking around, I might feel differently. It just feels empty. It's so big that it's empty.
Sure. So my guess is they continue to add stuff to it. That's why I'm saying it's starting to compete with Harry Potter. But look, we spent the entire day in Harry Potter, like the entire day. So
there are a lot. There's like ice cream shops.
Yeah.
So many things to do.
Yeah, all the different beers.
You went like
really
Nocturne
fun.
Alley.
Yep.
Oh, it's great. And then
we got the wand.
Oh, of course.
My wife got picked to do the wand thing.
Oh, at Ollivander's?
Yes.
That's incredible.
So we had to buy it.
You have to.
Yeah.
You can't be a cheap fuck say, nah.
No. Yeah,
you gotta buy it.
Yeah. That was really fun. We went around. We tried the wand stuff. It was a great day. Then recorded at Universal the next day. It was super fun.
I'm actually jealous of everybody who wrestled there. I've always wanted to wrestle there.
Me too.
Whether it be WCW or TNA.
Yeah, for sure.
I almost texted Tony Khan and said, hey, if you need someone to defend the inner title. Seriously, I almost did, but I was going to be in Vegas, so I couldn't have done it.
Yeah, it would be great. I could represent you there too.
Maybe next time.
All right. Yeah. So where were you this weekend?
This weekend I had the weekend off. That's the benefit of being free agent. You can make your own schedule.
Yeah.
I actually went to Vegas for a little Dolph Ziggler birthday party.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then I'm getting married in Vegas later this year. So Chelsea met me after her bachelorette party that she had, and we kind of did nothing fun, really. It was just like engagement photo shoot that we never did, and, tasting the appetizers and figuring out the order of the wedding, and like all when's the first dance going to be and all that BS.
Are you having surprise run-ins at your wedding?
No, I thought about it, but I'm not. So that's not happening.
All right. We want to talk about last week's episode.
There will be micro brawlers, though, exclusive micro brawlers.
Oh yes, that's right. That's true. Oh, and speaking of Vegas, did we want to just quickly plug something we got going on in Vegas?
Guys, Live 10, the 10th live major Wrestling for podcast show, October 22nd. We'll talk about this in great detail on the major Wrestling for podcast. But I checked out the venue, which we've never really done before. Besides, listen, we've been to Kowloon, we've been to Jimmy Seafood before. We've never checked out where we would be really.
Yep. Yeah.
I did a full tour and I documented it because I want people to know what they're missing at this bar. There's a mechanical dick.
You did not hear that wrong.
No, you did not, and it's in the vlog. A mechanical dick.
Okay.
You can ride that dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
live 10. October 22nd, and stay for Bound for Glory. Stay for the Impact tapings, and there's still tickets available. MajorWPod.com. Surprise guests. It's not just me, Mark, and Brian. I think as of this recording, we have at least 5 surprise guests booked, so it's going to be a hell of a show. So make sure you get your tickets, MajorWPod.com.
But the big pitch is that if you're a Matt Gardona, Brian Myers, Smart Mark Sterling, or Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, or Major Pod Network fan, this is a hell of a weekend.
It's
right?
insane.
Because also there's Impact tapings and Bound for Glory.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to just go for one, cool. But you can go for the pay-per-view, and there's multiple days of tapings, multiple sessions on each day. This is a wrestling weekend.
My God, a wrestling weekend. This could be
Vegas.
Yes. Not to mention all the cool stuff you can do in Vegas. So if there was ever a Major Wrestling Figure podcast trip, this is the one to do. Major Pod Network, I'll say, because we are on the MC podcast. Okay, I'll let you start. You have any follow-up from last week?
Not really. I enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed the social clips that D Freedom broke down. I actually, as a follow-up, I did eat dinner with Justin Roberts.
Yeah,
I did. It was great catching up with him. He's one of those guys who I don't talk to nearly as often as I used to. I mean, I used to ride with him. I used to see him 4 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
I probably haven't texted him 4 times this year. But when we saw each other, it was like, we were just in Allentown, Pennsylvania the night before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got a nice steak. I got a nice tomahawk. He got a surf and turf. And it was cool to catch up with Justin Roberts. And he listens to the show.
Yeah, I see him every week. He gave me some advice on a promo this week because he's always in front of a camera.
We were talking about this. Who has sat ringside for more wrestling matches than Justin Roberts? I mean, maybe Howard Finkel, maybe.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they were touring a lot back then, but even
in Justin's days in WWE, it was still 4 days a week.
I bet you there's some people in the YouTube comments that might know that answer. If you could possibly know the answer to that question, or at least take a guess, try below in the YouTube comments. I mean,
Justin's got to be top
up there.
3.
Yeah, 100%.
So, the amount of matches he has seen, and up close. I've always said that, being an edgehead was great, but standing outside ringside was where I learned everything, because you're closer than the first row. You have the best seat in the house, and Justin had that seat for so many years and still has it today.
Right. And is often involved in many parts of production in wrestling for many years. So, the man. Okay, first thing first, this is a follow-up from many weeks ago. Somebody sent us, I'm not even sure how they found this, but somebody sent us the 3 pictures detailed of the shirts that we talked about that were in the vote. But they weren't even the original, but these were the ones that went up for the vote. And you can see them right now.
Yeah, those are not the first horrible ones I got that had a teddy bear and a seal. I'm still trying to find those. These were after I said, hey, I basically designed the one that won, the Take Care, Spike Your Hair. It was already a similar version was already the logo on the end of the show, and I had it on gear before. Mm-hmm. But of course, WWE wants to do their thing, so they made other options, which were not good. So when I put the poll up, I said something like, vote for number 2 or else, or something like that. And that's what won, number 2.
The barcode one, not the worst, but it is just a giant barcode, so you just look like an idiot.
and that was the beginning of QR code. It's funny because like QR codes were a thing, died, and have come back.
Yes.
Kind of like me. You know? But I like the idea of the QR code. I just didn't want the whole shirt to be the QR code. So that's why I had it on the back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the other one is whatever this cartoon man is.
Horrible.
Yeah. All right. Couple follow-ups there in the actual episode. Kevin Cueva says the West Virginia to Ohio trip that we talked about last week isn't too far. You're probably looking at an hour to 2 hours from each other's. He says always looking forward to these Thursday releases. So not that much.
2 hours is nothing.
Couple people, James Twidwell, it was one of them, likes Broski 316. I got glass in my ass. Could be a shirt. Jack Connor, right on. I was at this house show in Trenton, New Jersey on 9/9/2011. I think the Big O was in the crowd as well. I remember people getting pictures with him.
That sounds about right. That's probably why he's in the video, because he went to that show. It makes perfect sense. Harry
Flynn, that Zach and Cena segment was on both the YouTube show and Raw.
Yeah, D Freedom showed the different versions of it on the social clip. So thanks a lot, D Freedom.
Awesome.
By the way, D Freedom has been making these incredible GCW videos. He just made the My Sacrifice Creed. He made the Tell Me a Lie video. And speaking
he's
of
doing
GCW,
great.
He's doing great. But GCW is going to be in New York City. Daddy's coming home, and I have a big announcement to make. I've been talking to my legal counsel, Smart Mark Sterling and Michael Dawkins. I have a big announcement to make at GCW. I don't even know the goddamn date because they're so unprofessional. They don't even tell me everything. I think it's. I want to say it's the 20. Oh shit! I should know this. I think it's the 24th.
Okay. Of September.
Of September.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's a big weekend for you.
What's that? Oh, big weekend, baby.
Big weekend.
I have 4 bookings that weekend.
Really? So the 24th is the Friday, and then you have something the 25th?
I have 2 things on the 25th. Double book myself.
Where are
purposely. In Pennsylvania. I have RetroCon.
Okay.
In the morning, and then I have a wrestling show later in the evening where I will radio silence Merrick Miami's ass.
Right. And then a super secret project on Sunday that we're always involved.
It's not Buddy Murphy.
All right. And then Mike Kirby says, my name's not Mark, it's Mike. Sorry, I messed that up. And I at least got to spin the bell. Oh, no, I didn't do it. Okay, hold on. Start this over. Mike Kirby says, my name's not Mark, it's Mike. And at least I got to spin the belt. I thought it was an open challenge, man. I don't know.
Oh, so we spin my spinner, bro.
That's the man that you throat punched.
Don't touch me. Like, who do you think you are? You can't touch me.
Well, he thought it was an open challenge, he says.
Okay, and look what happened.
Yeah. All right, that's it for follow-up. We ready to do the Broski of the week?
Oh, we are, baby.
Okay, well, let's hear a little word from our sponsors.
The Major Pod Network has a new tag team partner, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Everybody needs some liquid courage to make their own weekly purchases. Scratch that figure itch and scratch that PBR itch.
Get your PBR beer, get your PBR hard coffee, and get your PBR stronger seltzer.
8%? If you're listening to this, you're already a major mark. Now it's time to become a major PBR mark.
Use the hashtag MajorPBR and post your pictures and videos of you major marking out.
Pabst Blue Ribbon and the Major Pod Network, the new tag team champions of the world.
Of the world!
But we're definitely not getting any new figures from Mattel.
The Broski of the week.
Take it away.
All right, the Broski of the week. First of all, guys, PBR, major PBR. Crack one open. Whoa! That just fell. PBR sent me a nice package today of all this PBR swag. So, Corey, I appreciate that. It was like some socks.
Oh, nice.
A jacket, a hoodie, T-shirt. I appreciate that. Anyway,
I love the hats.
I didn't get any hats this time. But Broski of the week, all you got to do, find the pinned tweet on Twitter. But first, leave a review wherever you can, leave a review wherever you listen to your podcast. Screenshot that review, find the pinned tweet, quote tweet it, and in that quote tweet, post that screenshot and use the hashtag Broski of the Week. If I read your review on air, you will be the Broski of the Week, and you will get this. Matt Cardona 8x10 available on mattcardonamerch.com. You will get the Broski of the Week headband available on mattcardonamerch.com. And you will get the Broski of the Week sticker that is exclusive to the Broski of the Week. So the Broski of the Week this week is Omega_Pyro. 10 years ago, I made a connection to Matt Cardona, then Zach Ryder, that is unlike anything I've experienced before. This podcast is hosted by Matt Cardona and Smart Mark Sterling as they relive Matt's tale of blood, sweat, and headbands and how he ended up revolutionizing pro wrestling forever. Hearing all of Matt's ups and downs in the business will endear you to him, or endear him to you, and forge the same lifelong bond. Listening to how Matt took a bet on himself and chased his dreams has not only inspired me, but will inspire anyone who listens to make the same life-changing bet on themselves. So what are you waiting for? Get ready to relive the ultimate story of perseverance and success from the ultimate underdog. Woo, woo, woo. You know it well. Omega_Pyro. You are the Broski of the Week. Congrats, pal.
Nice review.
Very nice review.
All right, we got some great tweets this week. Matt Cardona, September 14th, 2011. When I was in first grade, I was Hulk Hogan for Halloween. This year, kids are going to be Zack Ryder. And you put a link to the WWE shop item, Zack Ryder 2011 Halloween package. Now, this is your first Halloween costume. I know you've had a few since. Tell me what that was like.
Yeah, so it's not an official costume, but just the fact that you could buy everything. And I was very smart, and I stole this from Cena. I wore what they sold, genuinely.
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes, like, they would make something like they wore on TV. No. I wore the same thing. I wanted it to be authentic. I think authenticity is key. And I stole that right from John Cena.
Right.
Like, okay, for instance, I'm thinking of a couple of things, like Bret Hart sunglasses. Those were so iconic and such a hot merch stand item because he actually wore them to the ring. I remember later on, like the two cool sunglasses, the yellow sunglasses, right? Like you couldn't find those things in early 2000 because they were wearing them. They were putting on people, putting them on Rikishi. If they were doing it in the ring and then it was on the merch stand, I think that's the perfect mix. And that's how I did everything with my merch by design. And I basically stole that from Cena. So thanks, John.
All right. Here's a funny one and ironic for right now. September 14th, 2011. At Renee Paquette. Call me, Winky Face.
That's weird.
10 years later, he's attacking you from behind. All right, Matt Cardona, September 14th. What's up?
That's just weird.
At it's the Big O.
God.
Was over 30 minutes late when he picked me up today from the airport.
Big O. Typical Big O. Big O says he's coming at 3. He's not there till 3:45.
Bro, I'd be really upset. Okay, if he's late to come to time. If he's late to come to do a shooting, okay, like a filming, like, all right, you're a little late. Pick me up from the airport. I've been traveling all day. Now I got to wait in this airport for an hour. I don't like that. Come on, Big O.
Big O, when I wrestle him at FWF Live 2 in the Long Island Street Fight, I'm going to lie about the call time. So he's still going to be late. But
you're right.
I'll give him an earlier call time. He'll still be late.
All right, September 14th. So far, I've sold the most Broski headbands tonight in Toronto. So you get a lot of fans there in Toronto.
Hell yeah.
Here's a funny one. September 13th, 2011. 200,000 plus followers. Not bad for hardly being on TV. Thanks, Broskis. You're at 2 million right now. But back in 2011, 200,000 was a hell of a number.
Yeah, and listen, guys, come on. Not just my followers, but the majority of, I think, of the people on Twitter are like inactive or bots. Yeah, I think back then it was genuine. Like, listen, I wish, I hate when people say, like, people pitch me all the time on like business ideas, all this stuff. They're like, well, if 10% of your followers, you have 2 million followers, 10% did that, you'd make X amount. I'm like, guys, it's not how it works. It's not how it works. God damn it. If that's how it worked, we'd have millions of views on our YouTube channel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just not how it works. That's not how it works. Not even 1% of my followers do what I tell them to do.
Right.
But that's not just me. That's like, listen, I post things on Instagram, and like the first 5 comments are like fake porn stars, you know, or someone selling like weird Bitcoin. 'Cause it's all like, there's so much spam and scam. And yes, of course, it's a great tool. There's so many cool ways to genuinely connect with your fans, and I love doing that. I just hate, I hate the bots and the spam and all that bullshit. Like the genuinely connecting, love that. Love that.
Right. And I think that, you know, some people put a little too much weight in the people on Twitter. You know, I think that there's probably hundreds of thousands of wrestling fans that would never even remotely think about starting a Twitter.
I say this all the time. Like, okay, and this goes for, right now I'm talking about negative stuff. Let's say something happens, right, on Twitter. I'm not, insert, this could happen to anybody. And he's like, everyone's saying this on Twitter about me. Okay.
Right.
Who's everyone?
Right.
Let's be realistic. 100 people? Tops? 100? Let's say 1,000 people said something. 1,000. That's everyone in the whole world?
Right.
There's millions of people on Twitter. Billions of people in the world. I think there's billions of people, right? There's gotta be.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And 1,000 people. So everyone didn't say it. You know?
Right. And people are more likely to complain than be like, hey, you did a great job.
Of course, I understand. Every once in a while, someone gets under my skin with something. It's natural. It happens for sure. I get it. But I think you really need to not, you know, take it so seriously. And that goes for positivity too. You can't, you know, let these people just, you know, pump up your big head. Mm-hmm. So you just gotta, I think you should check your comments. I think you should interact with your fans because I also think, how can I word this? You need to be able to tell the difference between like criticism and flat out just trolling negativity.
Yes.
That's very important.
For sure. Yeah.
I think everybody should be able to handle criticism. Might hurt, but you might need to take a step back and look yourself in the mirror and say, ooh, maybe that is true. But then of course, on the flip side, there's tons of just negative asshole trolls who will just say anything to piss you off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Matt Cardona, September 13th. If my broski CM Punk beats Triple H, I should be the new COO of WWE. I'll be the CO bro.
I still stand by that.
All right. Still offering to do that. September 9th, 2011. Broski 516 says, I just spiked my hair. Could be a shirt. Could be a shirt.
So ridiculous.
Matches you had this week. Zack Ryder on 9/9/11. Okay, the show last week goes up on the 8th. On 9/9/11, you go to the Barry Molson Center in Barrie, Ontario, Canada, and you defeat Drew McIntyre. Then the next day, you're at the John Labatt Center in London, Ontario, Canada, and you defeat Drew McIntyre. And then on 9/11/11, at K-Rock Center in Kingston, Ontario, Canada, you also defeat Drew McIntyre. Big weekend. And then on Superstars, which was recorded at Raw, well, it says at the Air Canada Center in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, which is actually Smackdown. So who knows if it was on Raw or Smackdown? Because you were on both.
Were
right.
they both in the same venue?
They were not.
Huh, okay.
Scotiabank Place was Raw, and then the Air Canada Center was Toronto. But you were at both.
Okay.
Anyway, you also defeat Drew McIntyre. That's 4 matches against Drew McIntyre in one weekend. This was 13 minutes and 11 seconds on Superstars. That's a big one.
A long one.
Yeah.
That's a two-segger.
Yeah.
Listen, I've said it on here a bunch of times. Love working Drew. Very physical. And at that time, it brought out a physical side of me because, you know, listen, let's be honest. Like, that gimmick was kind of goofy. So once the bell rang, I couldn't be goofy.
Yes.
And wrestling someone like Drew, if you were going to be goofy, you're going to get your ass kicked. So he was going to fight you. You had to fight him.
Right.
That's it.
The thing that I notice here, if you go back to like your weekends when we first started this show, you know, you're losing in 2 minutes on Superstars. You are not even booked on some of the loops. You're getting some time here on television, and you're on all the shows. and you're wrestling a good guy like Drew McIntyre. So, obviously you have these spots on TV and all this stuff. We're 30 episodes into the show, and it's clearly working.
Oh, totally working. And around this time, this is where, everything just starts to blend together in the sense that, like, okay, now, actually, I don't know about right now since I don't work for WWE, but before I got released, there was a talent app, and your calendar would be in there. You know what I'm saying? So you would know the next month or two what your schedule would be. Before that, you would get like you would actually get like a paper calendar, but those would change all the time. So really the only way you would 100% know if you were going to be on the weekend of live events is that you get to Raw and it would be like taped to the locker room wall. Like that's how you would know for sure, okay, I'm booked, right? So before the YouTube show, even in the very beginning, I'd always like run to it to make sure or to see if like something got changed, to see if I actually got booked because I was hardly ever booked on these.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then during this YouTube run, I just assumed booked. Didn't even look. Booked. Knew it. Booked. So I would say from around here till even, I would say a year or so after the YouTube show dies, I'm like booked on everything. Whether I'm, even when the show is dying, right, and I'm doing nothing until I'm still on all the live events.
Right.
Actually, the most money I ever made in WWE is that 2012 year where everything dies.
Right.
But I have all the merch. I'm on everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it before with the contracts. You really have to work to make the money.
Yeah.
All right, real quick on Raw, Scotiabank Place, September 12th, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Since their defeat last week in the hands of Jerry the King Lawler and Zack Ryder, Michael McGillicuddy and David Ortunga have been eager for the rematch. And that turned into frustration after learning that Long Island IZ could not compete thanks to Mark Henry, who rocked him on Smackdown. Instead, Lawler recruited someone less tan, but a lot more intimidating, the Celtic Warrior. Celtic, sorry.
Mark.
Also, they do a little commercial on Raw. Next week, Hugh Jackman will debut.
Oh, baby, we're almost at that week, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, Huey.
And this is an interesting match. Bret Hart and John Cena defeat Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez. 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And also Cody Rhodes in the main event defeats Randy Orton. 10 minutes. That's pretty cool. September 16th, 2011 on SmackDown at the Air Canada Center. Like I said, your spot here. Through his assistant, Zack Ryder, SmackDown general manager Teddy Long made it clear to both World Heavyweight Champion Randy Orton and Mark Henry that there was to be no contact between them while appearing as special guests on the Cutting Edge. The SmackDown GM decreed that if there was any physicality, their World Championship match at Night of Champions would be called off. So that's the message you delivered on that SmackDown.
No memory of that.
Here we are, episode 31. We get a normal open of the show, but you are in the shirt and the headband and the glasses.
I noticed I still don't have the set, and I noticed that the film or the video is grainy because I must have just like zoomed it in on my iMovie. Mm-hmm. Which I hate.
Either that or your lighting was not as good.
Probably maybe a combo of both.
Yes.
I mean, I definitely didn't have like proper lighting in my apartment.
Right.
It was like, is it sunny?
Right.
The light in the dining room,
So maybe you shot at night and then it was a little darker and it gets grainy. Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, that show wasn't meant to have great production value, What else we got there? We got the sign of the week, which I liked a lot because it had like, if you actually look at one of the signs, it changes the lyrics to the Wolfpack song. So it's like, Zach Pack is back, cause a mass destruction. Like you need to know the Wolfpack lyrics.
Right. I tried to write it down, but I couldn't read it. So it was like something bad bros of wrestling.
Yeah. It's the
Wolfpack.
It's the Wolfpack.
Oh, ding, 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 ding.
What a great song.
Love that song. It's on my workout mix. Big O, you say Big O signs up to NYWC.
Oh, speaking of NYWC, let's give a little shout out. I just realized this, and I'll talk about this on the podcast, the Major Wrestling Podcast. This week has been officially 18 years since I started wrestling. I'm 36. I've been in this business for half of my life.
Wow.
That's crazy. And then, listen, I know backyard wrestling doesn't count, but I was seriously backyard wrestling for many years before that.
Right.
Like, no wonder my body sucks.
Right.
No wonder I'm in pain.
Yeah.
No wonder my knees are shot.
Yeah, for sure.
But pretty crazy. It all started in that garage, NYWC. I was a scared little kid walking into Hicksville, New York gym, and of course, I always wanted to wrestle. I waited till I was 18 to actually go to the school, but beforehand, I went to the show, the NYWC show at the Deer Park Community Center to kind of scout it, because Johnny Ova and Dan Barry were the two guys who were like the guys in NYWC, and I wanted to see, like, can I hang with these guys? And I was impressed with their match. I was like, I can hang. So then I was like annoying certain people. I think it was like Tyler Payne on like AOL Instant Messenger about like where the gym is, how do I get, because he went to my real gym. So I think I'd be like, hey, like, you go to my gym, what day should I go to the wrestling school? He was always super cool. And somebody who like completely fell off, who at the time I thought was like so awesome. Looking back, I'm sure. I mean, maybe he was, I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, it's crazy that 18 years have gone by.
Well, and also we're at the 10-year anniversary of Big O starting wrestling.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Big O's in the can't even speak. Big O has been in the business for 10 years.
Hey, to be honest,
shit.
he's done a lot, dude.
He has.
Impact. Tough enough.
He met Chelsea before I did.
Right. Now, what did you think when Big O started training? Were you like, bro, come on. Like, are you serious about this?
I thought that he could make it. And I still think that he is his own worst enemy.
Okay.
And I think he has all the charisma, all the tools. Listen, let's be honest. Like, bell to bell, can he have a work rate match? Probably not. But it's not sports wrestling, it's sports entertainment. And he is the perfect sports entertainer.
Right.
There was one time, I don't know if I've ever told this story on the show, but I wrestled him before doors opened for, this is at WWE.
Yep.
I believe it's at a Smackdown. And we wrestled in front of all the boys, Regal, Triple H. Of course,
now this happens all the time. Like, they'll have extras wrestle extras. It's like not really a tryout, but it's like, let's see what you can do. Yeah.
So something happened where I had asked Regal to add Big O to the list, and he said, "Well, I think he was half ribbing me." Said like,
Yeah.
Well, since you asked to have him on, the numbers are odd. He needs to wrestle somebody. You recommend him. You got to wrestle him." And like, of course, I could have said no, but I was like, listen, whatever, fine. So we put together a match. He did fine. But I remember after I put him over, he like gets on the turnbuckles, like, get out of my ozone, to like Triple H. Like, first of all, this is a locker room sellout. Like, locker room sellout. The boys were loving it. Everyone was loving it. It's just unfortunate that Big O never made it, because I really think he could have been a star in this business.
Right. Huge dude.
Yeah.
So then after you mentioned that, he says he's lean, mean, and then he's in the shower and he says now he's clean. So,
well, that was kind of a joke, because I told him, hey, if you're going to get into the wrestling business.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. You said this is the first week that we have a tie for Broski of the Week. First, it's a guy at the show, because you're still doing that.
Like I said, that never took off. Like, just filming somebody and saying you're the Broski, it sucked. There wasn't enough meat on the bone.
Right. And then the other Broski of the Week is Shane Smith, who is a man in like a post office, and he's in a wheelchair, and he's fist pumping, and he made a joke about the fact that he doesn't have a fist.
Such a cool dude, such an inspirational dude.
Yes.
I still keep in contact with him and follow him on social media. If we could put up his handles now, such a guy, like a man, like a motivational, inspirational guy, always has a great attitude. We've met in person before. Like I said, we still keep in contact. Such a cool guy, definite Broski of the Week. And yeah, like you saw that video, like how could he not be Broski of the Week? And then, when I met him, and, every interaction I've had with him has been awesome. So such a cool dude.
That's great. We get another Ask the Heel, and he goes so fast I can't really write the stuff down, but the person asked, will you end Alex Riley's career by breaking his neck at the pay-per-view? And he makes a joke about how that's a very specific question. And then he just kind of like cuts a promo on everybody. It's just like a great promo. It's not even like on you, but it's just it's on Jomo, Miz.
This is his DZ comedy before DZ comedy was the thing.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, I saw him this weekend and I said it's just crazy that the older you get, time flies so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So as I'm watching this, I'm thinking, okay, so I just went to his 41st birthday. So he was 31 years old there. And I said to Ziggs, as we were in Vegas at a Vegas pool party, I said, Ziggs, you're the only 41-year-old that I know with a bleach blonde ponytail. But I think it's not, I think age is only a number, especially now, which is great,
Yes.
Like when my dad was my age, I think he had 3 kids.
Right. Wow. Yeah,
So-
for sure.
If not, he definitely had 2. Pretty sure he had 3. So
Yep.
Wow.
We talk about this all the time, how AJ Styles is the same age that is 10 years older than Arn Anderson was when he retired. So
right. But I think also now
insane.
people are taking a lot better care of their bodies.
yes.
Just
Hashtag
being
major
smarter.
fitness challenge.
That's right. Just being smart about everything. It's a different time, not just in the business, but in society, in the world.
Yep. No more about nutrition, things like that.
Yeah.
You say you're not on Night of Champions. Are you serious, bro? And then you talk about the Are You Serious, Bro tweet of the week. And then that is Zach doesn't have a GF, but Missionary Mike does. Are you serious, bro? No, we've never mentioned Missionary Mike here on the podcast.
Oh, by the way, Mike Mizanin on the newest season of Dancing with the Stars, he's got to do the Missionary Mike dance, kind of like, remember when Lisa Turtle did the little hop when she was on the crutches at the dance off at the Max? That's what Miz, if you're listening, you need to do the Missionary Mike, and I promise you're going to win Dancing with the Stars, Mike.
Yes, I agree.
And Miz is Missionary Mike because, unfortunately for Maurice, that's all he likes to do.
Okay.
D-Freedom, that's got to be the social clip of the week.
Okay. And then you say when you're out looking for chicks, you like to play good cop, bad cop, but Chia isn't even a cop yet.
I LOL'd at my own joke 10 years later today when I watched this back.
And then I noticed there was a tweet. I didn't select it, but you basically said that you are the good cop and Ziggler's the bad cop. But if you told me, I would have thought you were the bad cop. Ziggler was the good cop.
No, Ziggler's an asshole. But
Is he really?
I mean, he's not. I mean, I'm a nice guy.
Okay. All right.
Chia, by the way, called me today. He confirmed that he's coming to the bachelor party. He'll be there.
Oh, nice.
And then, man, when I was texting the other people in the bachelor party group, there was some wild response.
About Chia going?
One of them was like, my brother just wrote, best friend of the ... And then Chia wrote, internet champion. And then my other brother wrote, yeah.
See, he's got fans everywhere, man.
Oh, man. And then someone wrote, I wish I would have known before I booked that he was coming.
Aw.
Anyway, Chiapetta's going to, so you'll finally meet Chiapetta if you guys actually show up that last day.
Oh, I'll be there.
Oh, then you'll see him.
I'm excited. It'll be like that meme where Spider-Man's looking at Spider-Man.
You and Chiapetta?
I'm just kidding. You said I was your new Chiapetta once. The skit is Chi is polishing a belt and he says, this is finally my chance to get chicks. And then your dad walks in with his Morrison coat and says, want to know how to get chicks? And he opens the coat. Seemingly he's naked and Chiapetta says, oh, and runs away.
When I saw him just shining the title on that lawn chair, I was thinking, where is this segment going?
Right.
And then
obviously it's your dad.
We found out.
Yeah, showing him his
That's right.
Penis. Interesting. I still find it funny that at this time your dad is a cop and he's just pretending to show his penis on YouTube videos that are getting hundreds of thousands of views. It's insane to me.
Holy shit.
I know cops who are in the wrestling business who literally wear masks on purpose because they don't want perps to know or recognize them or whatever the heck, you know?
Right.
Like if your dad's trying to arrest somebody and they're going,
Phoenix?
what's that?
Pentagon and Phoenix?
yeah, exactly. They're actually cops.
Oh, wow.
But could you imagine your dad like trying to arrest somebody or pull somebody over for a ticket and them being like, "Oh, you're Zach's dad."
Oh, my God.
Be horrible. All right, nice little Stanford segment. It says Stanford all over it. Dr. Scott Stanford
This
says,
is one of maybe the best one, I think.
really good, but I have a question. So he says, you need Broactive if you have zits, basically. And it's this whole thing. He's got a ton of great lines. He definitely wrote this. Now, it cuts to a shot of you with fake zits.
Yeah.
These are like red dots on your face.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? Did you use a Sharpie?
No, it must have been some sort of like girls' makeup or something.
Aha. Okay.
I wasn't a Sharpie myself.
I was like, wow, that's dedication.
No.
So you guys got like graphics for this. There's the Broactive
Steve
thing.
Zitkos, man. Killing it.
Zombilly Peck at Zombilly Horror asks, in episode 31, Zack Ryder uses Broactive pimple cream. Was he at all scared that it would have the same effect as Zach Morris's pimple cream that he gave to Kelly and turned his face red?
No.
Okay.
I actually used Proactive.
Oh, really?
I guess at that time, kind of.
Right.
Yeah. So
Great little Stanford segment. He did an awesome job. I love Dr. Scott Stanford. People still keep
Stanford's
asking.
the man. Scott Stanford's the man. I love Scott. We got to have him on here.
We got to have him on next week. Ask him. Ask him if he's available at 7:00 next week.
Well, we're recording the bonus episode, something else, so we can't
True.
do it.
Closes out the show, and then at the end, there's a cartoon fan art of you. It's pretty cool.
That's funny because I got that drawing actually because Sam Roberts, I just like started to interact with Sam around that time before I hated his guts, but now I like him again. And he had a cool, similar drawing as his Twitter profile picture, and I asked him if whoever drew that could make one for me, and they did. And I believe that was my Twitter profile picture for a while.
That's cool. You know what? It did look familiar.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Anything else that you had for this episode?
Not really. I mean, we got to get to the Are You Serious Bro to the week of the Know Your Bro. That's
Yep. Okay. But before we do that, let's hear a little word from our sponsors. We are back. Know your bro, or not know your bro. Are you serious, bro? What do you got?
Are you serious, bro?
Well, it's funny because it debuted 10 years ago, I guess, in this episode. That's where it's the first time we started doing the Are You Serious Bro 2 to the week.
Right.
This one, all you got to do, guys, just tweet me something using the hashtag Are You Serious Bro. If it pops me, you'll get the 8x10. This one is from 13th Project. And he posted a picture of the All Hail the Deathmatch King shirt. He said, my shirt finally arrives in Australia and looks absolutely perfect as a tribute to the one true Deathmatch King, Matt Cardona, except that the belt was stolen by some big shot crook. Hashtag, are you serious, bro?
We agree here on the Major Wrestling.
Mox is a Cox. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that one didn't.
That's all I'm going to say.
That one didn't take off. All right, Know Your Bro. Ask Know Your Bro. Use hashtag Know Your Bro on Twitter, and I will ask Broski the question, and you will get an 8x10. Mike D at Deucey D. On episode 31 of Z True Long Island Story, you announced that for the first time ever, you have a tie for Broski of the Week. My question, did WWE ever sell any Zack Ryder ties? Seems like the perfect Father's Day gift.
No, they did not. Like I said, in my garage, I have a giant tote full of like all the weird shit they made, like iPad skins, scarves, Jesus Christ, you name it. They not flip-flops, what are they called?
Sandals?
No, not even sandals.
Slippers. Yeah.
My dad would wear them around the house like they were flip-flops, so like all the time, like all year round. So much cool stuff. They did not make any ties.
Huh.
There's a wristwatch. There's like an alarm clock. There's a night light. A lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, I would have bet
tie.
$25 that there was a tie.
There was once a Major Wrestling podcast tie that we gave to Dave C. Anderson, and then he sold it.
Yeah, can't believe it.
Now that I know David, I can believe it. And I
Right.
mean that in a positive way. Like David he's like, you see all the stuff he's selling now?
Yeah. What?
Buys
Yeah.
and sells. I mean, we all do that, but oh my God.
Yeah, but he does it crazy. He like bought every
He's
like
a loose cannon.
Mattel. Yeah, he is. All right, characters debuted none, but returning Dad, Big O, Chia, and Ziggler. So it's like a classic episode.
And Stanford.
And Stanford, sorry, yep. And this episode, 256,984, big dip from last week's huge Raw bump. But this is like sort of a normal viewership. And then clocks in at 5 minutes.
All right.
So that's it. ProWrestlingTees.com/Major WF Pod. That's where you find shirts for this. And also ProWrestlingTees.com/Matt Cardona. ProWrestlingTees.com/SmartMarkSterling. My shirts, your shirts. Today, speaking of my shirts, today I'm wearing this really cool designed Smart Mark Sterling shirt. A designer, I think his name is Bill Main, made it for me. I am sorry if that is the wrong person, but he made it for free, and I thought it was so awesome, and I was blown away by it. So it's one of my favorite shirts. Anyway, what do you got to plug?
Guys, ProWrestlingTees.com/Matt Cardona. A lot of cool stuff up there. A lot of cool merch, hats, shirts, mugs. Also, MattCardonaMerch.com. We have the plaques are finally shipping. Those bloody GCW plaques. Kinnick got them all today. So we'll be mailing them out. Man, he was not happy when they showed up to his house. But they'll be going out this week. Also, if you go on MattCardonaMerch.com, the bloody GCW 8x10 is up there. There's 8x10s of all your favorite Zack Ryder moments. U.S. title win, Mania, tag team title win. Those are all up there. We have some old school Zack Ryder sunglasses, some retro figures, some Lucy's, and some mint on cards. Check it out, MattCardonaMerch.com. I also want to say Impact Wrestling. We are taping this week in Nashville, and tickets are still available. So come check us out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There are 3 tapings available, and on one of those days, you can actually meet Brian and I. So if you're in the Nashville area and want to see some wrestling and want to meet the host of the Major Wrestling podcast, come stop by. And, of course, guys, live 10 tickets still available. Let's sell this baby out. Las Vegas, baby. Las Vegas. And I actually talked to someone today. Not today, but this weekend, sorry. He says he's from Facebook, and he says he can fix the situation. I said,
I saw that person reach out to you, yeah.
Bro, listen, I've dealt with this a million times. If you think you can do it, here it is. I sent him all the info. Nice
I'll believe
guy.
it when I see it.
I'll believe it when I see it. But thank you so much for trying. So, like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Go back and watch all these other episodes. Go listen to these podcasts. Wherever you can find your podcast, subscribe, leave the big boy 5-star rating, great review, drink some PBR, stronger seltzer, or the beer, or the hard coffee, and take care. Spike your hair.